Yaladim. So, it's almost a very, very special day. What's it going to be tomorrow? That's right. Tomorrow night will be Yom Kippur. Tomorrow we're not going to come to school because we'll be very busy to get ready for Yom Kippur. And then tomorrow night starts Yom Kippur. And then the whole day of Yom Kippur, our daddies and mummies are in shul. And what are they not doing? They're not going to... Right. And we need to be very, very careful, to be very well behaved for our daddies and our mummies, because sometimes it's difficult for them. But the story I have for you today is a story about a very great tzaddik and a very great lesson he wanted to teach us about Yom Kippur. His name was the Alter Rebbe, Rabbi Shneir Zalman of Liadi. Children, the Alter Rebbe lived many years ago. He lived in a very cold country called Russia. And one day, it was the day just before Yom Kippur, and there was a mummy, and she had a big stomach ache, and she said, oh, I think because she had a baby in her tummy. She said, I think my baby is coming. I have a stomach ache. And they quickly went and they called the midwife, and the midwife came and she said, I'll help you, don't worry. That's going to be okay. And she put the mummy in the bed. And Baruch Hashem, from the mummy's tummy came a lovely little baby. And such a lovely baby. And they wrapped up the baby and put the baby in the blanket. Then they left the mummy with her baby. And everybody said, bye-bye. It's almost Yom Kippur. I need to go to shul. Bye-bye. And the lady who helped to have a baby, she left. And the daddy left. He said, yeah, I've got to go to shul too. It's almost Yom Kippur. I have to light the candles and go to Yom Kippur and daven kol nidrei. I'm going. Bye-bye. And the mummy was left alone with her little baby. But children, the problem was that the house was very, very cold. They lived in a little hut all the way at the edge of the forest. It was a little hut, and there was no heating in the house. There was no fire, and there was nothing warm to eat. And it was very, very cold. And the mummy didn't have a proper blanket, and she was so cold. And she held her baby very close to her. And she said, oh, Baruch Hashem, my lovely baby, but I'm so cold. And the baby's so cold. And the mommy was getting very sick. And so was the baby. But there was nobody there to help them. In shul, children, all the abbas and all the imas and all the people were in shul. And they were, oh, we're so happy. It's almost Yom Kippur. Put on your talit and let's start praying very soon. And all the old grandpas, they put on their talits. And all the abbas, they put on their talit. And everybody was in the kenisa, in the shul, ready to daven for Yom Kippur. But you know what? They were waiting for the big tzaddik, the Rebbe, the Alter Rebbe, to come and start the tefillah, start the davening, start all the prayers. Wouldn't start without the Alter Rebbe. But where was the Alter Rebbe? He wasn't coming. Nobody knew where the Alter Rebbe was. And it was getting later and later, and darker, and all the stars came out. And everybody said, where's the Rebbe? Where's the Rebbe? We don't know where the Rebbe is. We want to start the Kol Nidrei davening, to start tefillah, but we don't know where he is. You know where the Alter Rebbe went, children? He went to the end of the forest where the mummy was with her little baby. Remember, there was a mummy who had a baby, but she was very sick because the house was very cold and she didn't have anything warm to drink or to eat, anything to keep her hot. Well, even though it was Yom Kippur, and children, on Yom Kippur we can't make a fire, but if a person's very sick and they might pass away, we're allowed to do all the things to keep them healthy and well. And so the Alter Rebbe came and he found an axe, and he came right where the mommy and the baby were, and he took the axe and he started to chop down the wood, the logs of wood. And after he chopped down all the logs of wood, he made a fire. And on the fire, he cooked up a warm soup. And then after that, he took some of the logs into the house and he put it into the fireplace and he made a nice warm fire. And the mommy was so happy. She said, oh, who is it? Maybe it's Eliyahu Hanavi who came to save me and my baby. I wasn't going to be able to survive in this cold without eating or drinking right after having a baby. And she looked and she said, oh, Baruch Hashem, we feel so much warmer. And the Rebbe brought a blanket and she pulled the blanket and she wrapped herself and the baby and made herself warm. And the fire the Alter Rebbe made in the house made her very warm. And everybody was still in the shul waiting for the Alter Rebbe to come. But nobody knew where he was. And everybody said, where's the Rebbe? Why isn't the Rebbe here yet? Maybe he's busy davening alone in his room. But he wasn't. Where was he really? Where was the Alter Rebbe? The Alter Rebbe, right, he was by the little hut saving the lady who was very sick and her baby. And the Alter Rebbe, even though he had to chop wood and make a fire on Yom Kippur, he did it in order to save the lady. And the next morning, when her husband came, the lady said, you know, you wouldn't believe it. The Alter Rebbe, he came to my house. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So the Alter Rebbe finally did come to shul, but he came very late after he did all the cooking and making the fire for the lady and saving her. And it was really, really late at night. But then the Alter Rebbe came and the lady told her husband and she said, you know, the Alter Rebbe was here last night and he made a fire and he saved me and the baby and he gave me hot soup to drink so I could drink and I could feed the baby too. And the man said, wow, we didn't know where the Rebbe was. We had no idea. And everybody said, see, the Alter Rebbe taught us something very important. Yom Kippur is all about davening to Hashem, but it's also all about having Ahavat Yisrael and helping one another and being kind and being nice to each other. Just like the Alter Rebbe saved the mommy and her baby. The Alter Rebbe taught us that Yom Kippur is the holiest day of the year. And what's the most holy thing is to always help each other and take care of each other. And especially children, you Yaladim, on Yom Kippur, you're going to help your daddies and mummies to fast by being very, very well behaved and quiet in shul. Thank you for listening.